Well, hello and welcome to Staking with Ethereum. Today is a beginner's guide on the proof of stake consensus mechanism and how to stake through Ethereum. My name is Sunshine and I will be presenting today. Before we get started, just a disclaimer, this is not financial advice and only educational information today that I want to give you. I have three objectives for you today. Number one, understand the concepts and utility of Ethereum proof of stake. Number two, staking, define staking and identify the differences of each. And number three, recognize the benefits and risk of staking. Now, before starting, we need to understand what is under the hood of how cryptocurrencies work. There are two main consensus mechanisms used in blockchain technology, proof of work and proof of stake consensus mechanism. And this is a general core agreement on how blocks are created. The reasons for these mechanisms is to be the gatekeeper of the blocks on the network. And these mechanisms keep the network honest by authenticating transactions, making it tamper resistant. It also prevents double spending and gives security to the network to prevent hackability. The Bitcoin network uses the proof of work consensus mechanism, and Ethereum recently moved from proof of work to proof of stake and at the end of 2022. Now, proof of work works by miners, who are the people on the computer network running the network. Computing power or hash is used for proof of work to solve a cryptographic math puzzle or problem, and the computer node winner is awarded with a minted Bitcoin. Proof of stake is different. It uses staked Ether as collateral to verify blocks. So someone will lock up their ETH token in a smart contract and use their node or computer to verify blocks or transactions. The locked up collateral serves as a promise to be honest to complete the work, and then the node is rewarded with Ether. Now, if the node is dishonest, it will get their locked Ether or their collateralized Ether slashed or taken away. So each mechanism has the same goal, and that's to maintain the security and prevent double spending. I want to give a very general overview of the Ethereum roadmap. Ethereum is a decentralized open source platform that enables smart contracts and decentralized applications. Ethereum was launched in 2013 by Vitalik Buterin, who at the time was 19 years of age. And then in 2013, proof of work was the consensus mechanism with a later plan from Vitalik and his team to upgrade to proof of stake. The Beacon chain was started in 2020 as a separate proof of stake chain, and then the merge occurred from proof of work to proof of stake, which was launched in September of 2022. Now there is just one chain that communicates with the two separate clients. The Shanghai upgrade was in April of 2023, and this is important because it brought staking withdrawals to the execution layer, which means in the past you locked up your ETH and you could not withdraw it from certain amount of time, which was December of 2020. This allowed stakers to withdraw their ETH from the Beacon chain to the execution layer. I bring this up because this is a common staking question on how long does staking lock up ETH? Well, the answer is not that long, but we'll go in more detail later. There are some upgrades coming down the pipeline, and you can go to the ETH Foundation to learn more about the sharding and future upgrades. Now, the goals for proof of stake for the upgrade was number one, to reduce environmental footprint, and that was to decrease the amount of computing power that was needed. And one study from a digital asset research actually reported that when they researched this, they found that the proof of stake consensus was 99% less energy usage that was needed based on the findings. Number two, what for goals of proof of stake was for scalability. This just means the ability to perform well under, increased or expanding workforces. In Ethereum's case, the goal would be to improve the network congestion, have faster transaction times, have the transaction gas cheaper, and then the times are increased with the validators. The goal was also to increase accessibility. So proof of stake was hopefully going to allow a wider range of participation or people to participate in the network. Many people that did not have access or knowledge to mining equipment and cheap electricity, now with proof of stake requires minimal hardware, less electricity, and less knowledge. And then last was the hope was to have a broader distribution of power, similar to what I said with the accessibility, but also the centralized wealth could reduce and proof of stake due to mining power of a few, which becomes more affordable. There's still some arguments with disadvantages of proof of stake. It is not necessarily fix everything. Some say there's still wealth inequality. Proof of stake still requires participants to stake a fixed amount of Ether as collateral. So you still have to have this collateral, and this could lead to centralized um, area of power, and large stakers could dominate the network. Also, network attacks and hackers could still make multiple identities to gain network control, and they could still produce a fork that could overpower the current chain. And last, interoperability between other blockchain networks may be challenging between different consensus mechanisms, and sharing that information could be very limited. Now, the beacon chain is the name of the original or of the proof of stake blockchain. When the merge occurred in 2022 from proof of work to proof of stake beacon chain, there were no longer two blockchains, but one. However, each node requires two clients to communicate. The beacon chain as the consensus layer, and the original client forms the execution layer. And then this engine API is used to communicate with both of the layers. The execution layer, or the shard chain, is what manages the state of the blockchain while completing transactions, process transactions, and executing smart contracts. The consensus layer is the new layer that's backed by hosting and verifying the efficiency of validators. So it has the validator management, it manages the rewards, and then tracks the proof of stake mechanism. Let's review Ethereum, its growth since 2013, and its value proposition that gives towards users who would want to stake through Ethereum. Ethereum is one of the largest and most established cryptocurrency. It offers staking as a way to secure and improve its network. It's widely used blockchain platform in the world. As you can see, the ecosystem is pretty large. By staking your Ethereum token, you contribute to the overall security of the network and stability. The more computer nodes that continues to stake with Ethereum, the stronger it will be. And this is really crucial for maintaining its functionality and preventing hacks or attacks. Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, which is just over 199 billion. And as you look at the crypto fees that it brings in, it is the number one moneymaker. If you can see at the top there, and daily fees and 7-day average daily fees, it is definitely beating Bitcoin with those crypto fees. So it is definitely making money. But with any cryptocurrency, note there's still a lot of volatility in the market. No one can fully predict the future. So as always, be risk adverse and make your decisions wisely. And then liquid staking has become really a popular way for investors to earn yields on their digital assets. As you see here, the staking or the locked up ETH, it continues to rise on the left hand there. This is compliments of CoinGecko Q2 of this year. And then to the right, you can see how liquid staking derivatives is one of the largest DeFi sectors that has increased with 16 billion of value combined. This is a site called Dune Analytics, which is basically a site that lets anyone publish and access crypto dashboard data, including Ethereum. It is free, and as you can see, real-time amount of ETH staked showing 21% of the supply, along with the breakdown of the staking services. I will put all these references at the end of the slides. So what exactly is staking? Well, staking is locking up your Ether token in a smart contract while earning rewards or APY. Staking, again, is the mechanism that secures the network. The lockup or collateral is what's used to keep node validators honest. Ethereum has no centralized body that controls the network, so everything is written in code. And this is what keeps humans from cheating the code by putting a stake in the game or money to ensure that their work promised to be done is not harmful to the network. If someone tries to cheat the code to benefit themselves, then their stake collateral or Ether is slashed, making it really pointless to attempt. There are two types of staking. You can stake Ether and run a node validator, or you can just stake or lock up your Ether. Both offer APY and rewards as incentives. What is a node validator? Well, a node is a computer that is connected to the Ethereum software that downloads the transactions and stores all the data on the blockchain. The node validator is someone who uses their computer to participate in that blockchain. They store the data, but they also verify the transactions, they verify the blocks, and then participate in that consensus mechanism on the software that we talked about earlier. They do need to deposit 32 ETH as collateral to the Beacon chain, and that is what keeps them honest. So what if you just want to stake? You don't want to run a node validator. Well, staking gives someone an opportunity to earn APY while having someone else run their node validator. So you're in fact letting the validator borrow your Ether in exchange for using their node. And ETH holders are incentivized and rewarded for staking their ETH coins by gaining passive income. And these rates really are better than traditional finance services can offer. So how do you stake? Well, you do staking as a service, which is that intermediary for holders of ETH who want to stake but don't want to run a node. Users can stake their ETH and earn rewards. With staking as a service, you're giving your Ethereum tokens, they stake it for you. They use their own node validators, they earn the yield, take a fee, and pass it to you. There are a few types of services that you can use that offer different benefits and risk. I would break these down into three: to custodial, non-custodial, and then mini pools are liquid staking derivatives. So let's take a look at this. This is an example of how this works. Sally up there in the top left, she decides she is a node validator. She decides to deposit 16 ETH for her collateral, and then she borrows from you and maybe two others to make a total of 16. Her 16 combined equals 32 Ethereum. Now she's ready to validate the blocks, transactions, and earn the APY and rewards, and then she'll take a cut and give it back to you. The bottom line is actually pretty good for Ethereum. The more the nodes, the greater the decentralization. This removes the entry barrier and allows really more access to staking, which allows the creation of more nodes and then greater network security. Custodial services are centralized providers like Coinbase, Kraken, and Binance in the US. They run large numbers of validators. So they have lots of validators. And so the advantage is, of course, it's easy. If you already have funds on Binance or Coinbase, it's really easy to take it out of that wallet and then stake any amount. It's also, there's really not an amount that you have to stake. You can stake, I think, as less as 0.01 ETH. So it makes it easy for anyone to have Ether that's just sitting there on the side to earn a little bit of APY. The number one risk is it's custodial. So you don't own your keys. They do. This can be dangerous for the network. Multiple reasons. It can be dangerous to you, first of all, because, we know that regulation is coming. We don't really know what that looks like. That can affect the custodial services first. There can be some security issues with you locking. There could be a rug pull. If Coinbase were to go file for bankruptcy, then you may not get your funds back. The validators, if they act if they are not honest, or if they get slashed for some reason, you may not get your fees. And then the unstaking times may be a little bit longer. And then with any staking, obviously there's volatility in the market. And then also custodial services, like I said earlier, can be dangerous because they're dangerous to Ethereum because of the centralized point of failure. It can make the Ethereum network more vulnerable to attacks. If Coinbase, all the validators were attacked, then all of those nodes could go down and really harm the security of Ethereum. This is some information that I looked up online with Coinbase and their staking. Pretty interesting. The protocol penalties for slashing, they do say that Coinbase may not replace your assets depending on the cause of their validator slashing. So bottom line is, if they don't get their money, Coinbase does not, you don't get yours either. Also talks about the unstaking times. That could be days to weeks. They don't really give you an amount of time. And then they also go to say that they don't always verify that you are going to earn rewards. Staking as a service is also, you can go with a non-custodial service, which means you're staking without giving up your custody of your funds. Your ETH is placed in a non-custodial wallet, and you can still earn the rewards or APY without giving up your custody. This is a lot more safer from a custody standpoint because you can control your keys. You have more control. Examples of a non-custodial would be all nodes are stakewise. And I think the risk really is you have to really do your research. You need to know about the protocol for the non-custodial and be okay. A lot of times you choose the validators. Not all validators are created equal. The setup can be more difficult as well when you're depositing in a non-custodial wallet. And a lot of times it requires you to deposit more Ether. Some protocols make you deposit the total amount of 32. So just something to look into, but definitely safer from a custody standpoint than a custodial service. The last way to stake is liquid staking, or LSD, or liquid staking derivatives. This is probably one of the most complex to understand, but pretty popular. First, you can stake any amount with liquid staking, and you're given the equivalent amount in a synthetic ERC20 token that's pegged to its price. So they use that liquid staking token. For example, um, Rocket Pool has their own liquid staking token called RETH, which is pegged to Ethereum. But the good thing is that the more staked, the more the amount will go up. And so you're earning that APY. The other good thing about liquid staking tokens is they're very easy to trade on the open market. So you really don't need to unlock your funds. It makes it really easy to quickly swap out your tokens, cash out. So you can really have a really good profit strategy if you wanted to. Another thing about liquid staking is you can buy the token without staking it through for example, Rocket Pool, um, and you can hold on to that liquid staking derivative, and it will earn APY for you as there continues to be more staked assets. That liquid token will continue to go up, and so you are earning that APY. You're in fact staking without actually locking up, which is pretty cool as well. Obviously, the risk for an LSD is a synthetic token could lose its peg. You also, you most of the time don't get to pick the validator. So you really need to trust the protocol and the service that they are going to do a good job for you to get your APY or your rewards. So here's just a staking chart for Ethereum. Some of the types of staking that we went over, and the amount of ETH, and then the APY, which varies. And that can change depending on the amount of node validators. The more the validators, the less the APY. So the sooner, the earlier you get in with less validators, the more APY you will make. Before staking, this is a really good site. It's called stakingrewards.com. It does have a calculator on there, but it gives you a really good idea of the APY depending on how you stake that you should be earning. So definitely do your homework and do some comparison, and look at your risk and reward. Now, what if you decide to be a node validator? You're interested in being a node validator. What does that mean? How do you do that? Well, if you do it in a few simple steps, you basically get your node validator hardware. So you run the node, and then you sync an execution layer client and a consensus layer, like we talked about. You generate your keys, you load them into your validator client, you monitor and maintain your node. Simple as that, right? Benefits of being a node validator: number one, you're participating in the Ethereum network, you're providing security into the network, and you're contributing to really something that is early and so innovative. Um, so that's really exciting to just be a part of that in general. You can earn rewards and APY. So you can think of this as a way to earn passive income and then continue to cash in on your dividends over the years. And it's decentralized. No one is managing you. This is a job that you are doing. You are your own boss. With any new early innovation, there is some risk. And the risk is figuring out how to be a good node validator and avoiding your slashing, avoiding as much downtime as you can. Obviously, security you need to be up on so you can avoid having network bugs and loss of your funds. And then, as always, again, there can be volatility in the market, so the value that you put in could go down. Validator's responsibility: they stake 32 Ethereum, propose blocks, sign attestations, and then at minimum have to be online 50%. What do you need to be a node validator? You need internet and electricity. You need 32 Ethereum, or you can use a mini pool protocol like we discussed earlier. And then you need your computer operating system as well. So 2 ways to be a node validator. You can be a solo staker, which is directly on the beacon chain. This is the safest because there's no actual mini pool protocol. And so you're directly on the Ethereum beacon chain, but you have to have 32 Ethereum. Many times that this is a high entry. Most people don't have 32 Ethereum sitting around. So this eliminates a lot of the people. APY is anywhere from 4 to 5.69%, depending on MEV or MEV boost. MEV stands for maximal extractable value. And basically that refers to the maximum value that can be extracted from the blocks, the block production in excess of the standard block rewards like gas fees, by including, excluding, and then changing the order of transactions in the block. You can also be a node validator through a mini pool. The benefit of being a node validator is you don't have to have 32 Ethereum or Ether, and you can stake with, right now with Rocket Pool, as little as 8 Ethereum. You will need about 20% of your liquid collateral token as well for collateral. So that will be the REs or RPL. And so you'll need to stake that. But the APY, if you see here, is 7.43% plus the RPL rewards, and you have the MEV. So this is really a benefit because you can actually make more as a mini pool operator than a solo, because you are lending out your node to others and earning those rewards from others that you're going to take a cut from. So you actually will earn more APY with Rocket Pool's mini pool. The risk obviously is with any mini pool, it's a protocol that could have malfunctions or hacks, could go down, and you could lose your funds. So you really have to believe in the protocol, trust in the protocol, and understand what that risk is. So just to go an overview again, there's 2 types of staking. You can stake, or you can stake and run a node. You can stake through a custodial service. It's easy, but you don't own your keys. Non-custodial is a little harder, but you own your keys. And mini pool, you can go through liquid staking tokens where you can actually cash them out pretty easy, but you have to do, again, research with the collateral staking token that's pegged to Ether. If you stake, you can earn anywhere from 3.3 to 5% APY. Now, when you stake and run a node validator, if you're a solo staker, it's right on Ethereum. You need 32 Ethereum. Or you can go through a mini pool like Rocket Pool and have anywhere from 8 to 32 ETH where you stake. And then other stakers put in the other amount of ETH to make you a full mini pool where you can earn your LSD for collateral and earn more, anywhere from 7.4% with APY and rewards. Here's a list, a resource page, ETH Staker Knowledge Base, Ethereum Foundation. Has a lot of really good information about staking, how to be a node validator. It's probably those 2 are probably the best. Also is the Ethereum Staking Interest Calculator if you wanted to calculate. Dune Analytics is on there if you wanted to look at the up-to-date stats on Ethereum, and then digital asset research on the environmental controls of proof of work versus proof of stake. As always, do your own research. Anytime you make any investments, especially staking, you want to look and review the protocols that you are staking with. Know your risk, know your benefits, and have more reward than risk. Things that you can look at for these protocols is look to see how long they've been around. Do they make regular audits? Do they have upgrades? Do they have previous bugs that they've fixed? Always research the percent or APY of rewards. Look to see if they have a community following. Also, know what the lockup phase is and when you can take that out. Liquid staking tokens, you need to do the research and look at the tokenomics, and then always just monitor your rewards regularly. Investing in Ethereum can lead to significant gains, but it also comes with risks. This technology is still very early, so do your research, diversify your portfolio, and stay informed. I want to thank you for your time, and I hope you learned a lot about staking today and you're able to complete those objectives that we talked about, which is understanding of the Ethereum proof of stake consensus mechanism. You know what staking is and the types, and then also the risk and the benefits. Have a wonderful day. Take care.